I didn't think I'd be saying this so soon, but welcome back to the channel, all 100,000 of yous. I thought maybe we might do it by the end of the year, but we've actually done it a month sooner, so I appreciate yous all. Today was actually meant to be our 100k special video, but remember when I said I'm going to give you something for free? Well, I'm still working behind the scenes to make that perfect and ready for yous. So I'll probably do that video either tomorrow or Wednesday, but keep your eye out for it. Anyway, today we're going to go back in time. We're going to revisit history only a couple months ago to the KSI and Tommy Fury fight. And I know this is old news by now, but KSI just released this video, so I lost, because he never really addressed the fight. Sure, he did in his post-fight interviews where he was emotional, but he hasn't sat down and done a video like this. And in this video, he brings up some good, solid points. I actually went to the Misfits event and I've done a vlog. If you didn't see that, you can go and watch that up here. It's quite funny. I had a great time. The event itself was pretty good, apart from the two main fights, which were awful. But at the event, I was a little bit intoxicated, a little bit drunk. I'm trying to film on my phone and document the process for yous, and I thought Tommy Fury won it. But I watched this KSI video and it actually made me go back and watch the full fight again to decide who really won. And after watching it back, at best, I would have said a draw. Anyway, KSI actually takes shots at Tyson Fury in this video and he talks about some interesting things. So let's watch and react to it together and see where KSI's mindset is after the fight, and is he going to chase that rematch? And also, before we get started, make sure you like the video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. 200k subscribers, here we come.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy KSI. Yes, I know it's been a while, but there have been several reasons why. First of all, quite frankly, I just didn't feel like making a video, especially after the result of the Tommy Fury fight. I had trained so hard these past few months, you know, working overtime to do what most people saw was impossible, and that was to beat Tommy Fury. I felt like I had won the fight, so to have the judges completely take that moment away from me, yeah, it sucked. As soon as I got back home, you know, I was angry, disappointed, and eventually I just broke down and started crying. It wasn't fair. Life isn't.
After watching the fight back, I can understand why KSI felt this way. I was on Tommy Fury's side, and I felt frustrated watching it, so I can't even imagine what it felt like for KSI being in there, thinking that you won the fight, and it actually looking that way, and then the judges pull the rug from under your feet. And it can mess with you a little bit because you're going to have a lot of people who are talking crap online to you, so you got to have thick skin to do this YouTube game, especially when you're playing at KSI's level.
I look back at the fight and I tried to find any highlights, any showing of Tommy Fury beating me in that fight, and there was just hardly any. And it's crazy because so many people felt like I won the fight.
Yeah, that is a little bit of a stretch. Tommy Fury did have some moments in the fight. He caught KSI a few times, but KSI also returned those shots. It wasn't completely one-sided, but to say that Tommy Fury didn't have any moments is a little bit unrealistic. Of course, he's going to be looking at it through a biased lens, but I get what he's saying.
From Eddie Hearn to, you know, Adesanya to Ariel Helwani to the millions all over the internet, you know, that thought I had won the fight.
Like in the fight, just looking at it as a fight, I thought KSI won.
Rob's a tough one. I think it could have been a draw.
Yeah.
Or he won by point because of the deduction.
You think that Tommy won or did you win? I mean, you had a point deducted. KSI won the fight.
Well, he landed the cleaner shots, yeah. I thought KSI landed the cleaner shots, was moving better, was boxing better.
KSI outlanded him in 3 rounds. And yeah, Tommy got the other 3, but there was a point deduction. And in my opinion, KSI should have won this fight.
People were going back and forth who won, Tommy Fury or KSI. You know, I felt like KSI did a lot more.
Will Fury himself said before the fight, if it's anything but a knockout, I lose. And I take him at his word on that. I also think that KSI should be the one that's viewed as the winner.
So the general agreement is that KSI won 3 rounds and that Tommy Fury won 3 rounds, but there was a point deduction for Tommy Fury. Therefore, KSI was the winner. So really looking back at the fight, I honestly don't know how the judges were scoring this. Like, through what lens were they looking at the fight through? I thought Tommy Fury won the fight when I was there, but I was watching it as a drunk fan in the middle tier row. I'm not one of the judges who were ringside.
Even my biggest hater, Jake Paul, before the announcement was made, thought I won the fight. So for the judges to label me as the loser, it just made no sense. So it took me a while to process, you know, all of that. Yes, I was still doing Sidemen videos after the fight. I was still doing Prime stuff after the fight, but underneath all of that, I was still mentally battling the whole situation. Another reason why it took me so long was because of this appeal that we made. I wanted to try and right what was wrong. Me and my team put up a case to the PBA to explain why I didn't lose that fight. From Tommy Fury hitting me repeatedly in the back of the head, to me outlanding him 3 of the 6 rounds of the fight, and also the point deduction, etc.
That's another thing you have to look at when someone punches another fighter in the back of the head. If you throw the punch and they turn their head as you throw it and it connects on the back of their head, that is not your fault. That doesn't deserve a point deduction. But in the fight, KSI had his head completely turned the other way, whilst Tommy Fury was punching him in the back of the head 2-3 times. So he deserved that point deduction, 100%.
And lastly, I just wanted a break. I've had such a crazy year, man. I've had 3 fights this year. That's 3 tough camps, especially the Tommy Fury camp. Fuck me, man. I was sparring demons. I was sparring tough ass people, man. I even had my trainers paying my sparring partners knockout money if they managed to knock me out.
This is something what a lot of trainers do. They'll bring external fighters from outside of the gym into the gym to spar whoever their fighter is, and they'll pay the fighter bonus money if they're able to knock out KSI. Farar Sahabi, who's George St. Pierre's coach, also used to do this. It's an incentive for these fighters to really put on the pressure, but that's only going to make KSI better because then his sparring partners aren't going to be holding back. KSI even called Tommy Fury out in the build-up and said, your sparring partners are terrible with awful records, which I give KSI a little bit of pushback on, because Tommy Fury said, you don't know who I'm sparring. Just because you've seen a little bit of footage of me with one sparring partner doesn't really mean anything. Everything else we keep behind the scenes. We're not putting everything out on social media. But it does beg the question, was KSI actually sparring harder and taking the camp a lot more seriously than Tommy Fury?
I've done countless Sidemen videos this year while traveling and doing meetups in various countries for Prime. And also I did WrestleMania. I mean, fam, the list goes on. So after the Tommy Fury fight, I was just exhausted, physically and mentally. I was officially burnt out. So it was nice to finally have a little break just to do the things I've always wanted to do.
Let me give you a little nugget of wisdom on burnout. People often say that they're burned out when they're actually not. To truly burn your body out, it takes quite a lot. Your body is a very resilient organism. It can take quite a beating. You're just not getting enough sleep, or your nutrition's crap. You might have heard the term, you're not overtraining, you're just under recovering, and that's an actual thing. The vast majority of people don't operate on that level to truly experience what KSI has experienced in terms of burnout.
If I'm being honest, I haven't really stopped since 2017. That's what, 6 years of just non-stop crafting. Now, don't get me wrong, it's been fun, but it's also been a lot of hard work. 2017 was the year the diss tracks happened. 2018 was the year I fought Joe Weller and Logan Paul. I also went on tour with Randolph, and then 2019 went on tour again and also fought Logan Paul again. From there, straight on, the whole music era happened. All the way up until 2022 when I came back in August to box again. And I've been boxing non-stop since.
I need to say something here. During the fight build-up, people thought that I hated KSI. People thought that I was meat riding Tommy Fury just because I had a few stern words for KSI. And the whole reason why I had a bone to pick with KSI was just because of how he acted after this elbow KO. And in his post-fight interviews, he was acting like it was a win and he was talking like the big dog, when really it should have been a disqualification. You say that you should take your wins like a man and your losses like a man. Well, getting an elbow KO in a boxing match and then walking around and doing your interviews talking about how it was a legit knockout is not really taking it like a man. That was the only gripe I had with KSI. Apart from that, I got no problem with him. I like him. I respect him. They say that I was meat riding Tommy Fury, when in fact it was the other way round. You were all meat riding KSI, sending me death threats because I said I think Tommy Fury's gonna win. Grow up, will yous?
So how do I feel? Depressed. I hate my life. No, I'm kidding. I feel much better now. In terms of the Tommy Fury fight, I feel like I've come out better. Way better than he has. Like, I would much rather be in my position than his. I mean, it's nice to...
I can't disagree with that. Every now and then, once in a blue moon, there will be a fight where the loser is actually really the winner in every aspect. And that's the case for KSI after this fight. His public perception is great. He's more successful than ever. He arguably won the fight, and a lot of people seem to agree. Whereas Tommy Fury, where does he go from here? There's still going to be thousands of people who are going to show up to watch KSI fight. But has Tommy Fury really gained any fans after all this? Most likely not. If anything, he's lost fans and lost family.
To know that my fight with Tommy Fury will be the biggest fight he will ever have in his life. Even if he fights anyone else, no one is going to care. I mean, he claims to be at a world level, but he's out here trying to fight a 54-year-old Roy Jones Jr. It's honestly so shameful. Also, the fact that Tommy Fury was unable to knock out a YouTuber that has been boxing for about 3 years. It's actually hilarious. Tommy has essentially been boxing all his life, and he struggled to even jab me. Even with everything in his favor, the venue, the weight, the no rehydration clause, so he was able to just balloon to over 200 pounds on fight night. Even with all of that, He wasn't able to get rid of me convincingly.
I mean, valid points, KSI. Valid points.
Tommy said that he was done with boxing if KSI could hang with me.
If KSI beats you, does this mean that your career as a contender in boxing is done?
What can I say? If likes of KSI is even giving me a competitive fight, let's say that. Let me say that. You know, I'm gonna go out there on Saturday night and do what I should have done to Jake Paul. I'm going to iron this man out. He'll be very, very lucky to get past 2 rounds.
Well, I did.
Mate, Tommy Fury did have all the advantages on his side. His power was insane. He had solid fundamentals. All the signs pointed towards Tommy Fury winning this fight. He overlooked him.
And you needed the judges to save you. That's pretty embarrassing, bro. And to be honest, Tommy Fury has been pretty embarrassing these past few weeks. From him being with Chris Brown, having zero rhythm, looking hella awkward, to him attempting...
I mean, that dance was so funny, these videos that came out.
Like Chris Brown having zero rhythm, looking hella awkward, to him attempting to dance with Tion Wayne, to whatever this clip is. All while Molly May is looking after his kid at home. I mean, come on, Tommy. You're a father now. You can't be constantly partying in the club while your missus is taking care of your child. You were hardly around during Molly May's pregnancy, and it seems that even after the child has been born, you're hardly around.
Ooh, he's going for him. He's coming for the neck of Tommy Fury. I'll give a little bit of pushback on that. In the real world, not the internet world, if you are the breadwinner, you're the man, and you're giving your missus a decent amount of money, and you're providing for it and giving her a good life, a good girlfriend or good wife won't have any problem with you going out and having a good time as long as you're looking after them. Now, is Tommy Fury the main breadwinner in that relationship? I actually don't think so, because Molly May is smashing it. But regardless, that's the point. You don't really know the intricacies of everyone's relationship. But this is what I've learned from multiple relationships. Women don't mind you doing stuff as long as it doesn't feel like they're being left out. So if it was me in this case and I was going to party with Chris Brown, hit me up. I'll be there for your next music video. I'd make sure that my missus has got a decent amount of money there. I'd make sure I'm calling her every single day. And then I'll also make sure that me and her do something together when we get back, or when I get back, she can go and do something with her mates. And when this video surfaced of Tommy Fury getting pushed in the face by a girl, people were going off the rails in the comments and saying exactly what KSI was saying. People were saying he's flirting with a girl in the club whilst Molly May is at home with the baby. I understand how this clip looks, but how do you know what's going on? Think about it. Relationships for hundreds or thousands of years have always been that way. The man is always away from home. It's only the modern day where now the man is expected to be at home with the woman and the baby. Otherwise, it's not fair. Everything's got to be 50-50. Make sure you do the dishes one night, I'll do the dishes the next night. The real world doesn't work like that. It's only in internet crazy land people have these opinions. And the relationships that are like that, where it is completely 50-50 down the middle with every single job in the house and task to do with the baby or the kids, usually both people are very unhappy. The happiest couples are usually the ones in traditional gender roles. Now, is Tommy Fury in the club with Chris Brown a traditional gender role? Not really, but my point is, him being away from the house, regardless of what he's doing, whether he's clubbing, whether he's working, it doesn't matter, has got nothing to do with Molly May being at home with the baby. Yeah, she is at home with the baby, and I'm sure he's going to come back and put his shift in, and she's going to have fun. I bet you if we seen her in a club, people wouldn't say, Tommy Fury's at home with the baby. It's just this whole victimisation of women. Shut up. So what, a bird pushed them in the face. I've been in plenty of relationships and stuff like this has happened to me. Does it mean I'm guilty of anything? Does it mean I'm getting with her whilst me bird is at home with a baby? No, and that's why I wanted a little rant on that situation, because I hate it when people take clips out of context and act like they know the entire situation.
Another thing I find hilarious is whenever I come across Tommy's posts on like Instagram or Twitter, the comments are just slowing him. And saying that he lost the fight, and that's because he did. I don't care if 3 random people thought you won. The world knows that you ain't shit. This guy, this nerdy FIFA player, managed to hang with you. And that, quite frankly, says a lot about your legacy. So yeah, let's keep reminding Tommy that he didn't win that fight under his Instagram posts or Twitter posts or anything he posts online. And if you see him publicly, you can berate him as well and remind him that he didn't win.
That's not good, KSI. KSI is going to send his entire prime army for Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury's going to be getting all sorts of DMs and death threats, probably in person as well. Don't do that type of stuff. And also, that goes for you guys, the Shaun Jones army. If I ever have beef with someone, don't go at them. You've got to remember how the YouTube game works a little bit. People love drama. They're addicted to controversy. If my channel was all about peace, love, and positivity, and always taking a positive spin on things, I'd probably still only have 10 people watching my videos. So don't blame me.
Ultimately, I set out what I wanted wanted to achieve from all of this. And that was to show to all of you lot that no matter who you are or where you've come from, you put in the hard work, you know, graft to stay consistent, and you can literally do anything in life. You know, I posted on my Instagram saying this: I appreciate all the kind messages from everyone. In the ring and watching it back, I feel like I should have won. Either way, I feel like I accomplished what I wanted to in the end. This little untalented nerd was able to go toe-to-toe with a professional boxer. Use me as a living proof that hard work and self-belief can get you anywhere in this life. And you know, I've portrayed this for years, and I've pushed this narrative for years. So you know I'm not, you know, bullshitting you. Because you could see where I've come from and where I am today. So if you don't take anything from this video, at least take that. That's like the most important part of this video.
Important, valuable life lesson we can take from this: hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And KSI is a fantastic example of this. Started off as a YouTuber, now he's a super successful entrepreneur, going toe-to-toe with professional boxers, making absolute millions from his Prime energy drink, which is a load of crap, by the way, but I'm not going to hate. And it was all built from his YouTube platform. So he's a great inspiration. And just something a little bit closer to home, I myself have never been talented. I've never really been naturally good at anything. Every passion or endeavor that I've started in, whether it's been fighting, fitness, business, or music, I've been absolutely crap at for years when I first started. But just through sheer resilience, determination, and hard work, I've got good at it and surpassed my peers who were more naturally talented at it than me. So you should always work hard every single day, grind and grind and grind for the weeks, months, and years, and you will surpass those naturally talented people. And before you know it, you'll look back on the journey you've had and you'll be like, do you know what, I've came quite a long way here. But you have to be disciplined. Great video by KSI. Watching back that fight, I definitely think there's a really big argument there for KSI winning the fight. I'm happy to say that I got it wrong. We have to be unbiased here. He seemed like a good lad. Everyone, from the bottom of my heart, right, I appreciate you subscribing to my channel this year. I've got big plans for the channel next year. I might have something cool coming up this month of December that's a little bit different from a usual content style. So it might not get as much reach or as many views, and it might not pop up in your recommended feed, but I think you'll like it. So just make sure that you've got those notifications turned on when you subscribe so you don't miss it if this opportunity comes about, that is. Okay, appreciate you all. Like the video, and I'll see you tomorrow.